have some exciting news to share about Beltway South Crisis Pregnancy Center. But before we do that, I want you all to meet Miss Jean. She's going to share her story, how she started with this ministry, and she's going to share about her so we can learn more about the staff here at the Beltway South Crisis Pregnancy Center. Miss Jean, take us back to the first day when you arrived to the center.
Well, it was a strange beginning. I had helped at another crisis pregnancy center that was really in horrible disarray to remodel and to clean it up. It was just not good. And a gentleman came there and he asked, he had a desire to start a center in this area. He had the space set aside and he asked if I would just come over to help lead a team of volunteers to build out a center.
So you were in charge of the architecture. That was the original message that got sent, just to fix the architecture.
Just to fix it up. And so there was a good team that did that. And at the end, when we were ready to open the facility, that individual disappeared. Just totally disappeared. There were 6 of us that we decided, we sat around my dining room table and we said we could walk away from the facility, but during that build out, God was so faithful. He sent the workers, he sent the materials, he sent everything I needed. And so we decided that we would go forward and see if we could bring forth this center.
The dream that he had presented to you to just help with the architecture.
Just with that. So I had my own company, I had a job, and God said, I need you to go in there and help lead this for a period.
A very short period.
A period of time. So I was one of the founders. There were 6 of us that began the center. Each one of us had different talents. It was amazing. He had a bookkeeper. He had a lady that had helped with several centers with, she was a client advocate trainer. She's the one that taught me. So it was amazing that the people of those 6 people, he had some quality that we needed to start the center.
And they didn't even know that he was using all that for the center.
It took us a long time to figure that out. But we started the center back in 2004. And then about a year and a half later, we had already developed all of our policies and procedures. And we had a 20-year-old ultrasound. By then he had given us a sonographer. That's an amazing story in itself. But he had provided everything. And then we decided we would file for Focus on the Family ultrasound grant. Well, they came in to do a site tour. We applied for everything. They came in for a site tour. And the lady said, oh my goodness, we shouldn't be here. You're supposed to be a 5-year center. But you look like a 5-year center in a year and a half. Give me a phone. I'll call back to Focus on the Family. She did, and they approved us for a great new ultrasound.
And that's the ultrasound that we have right now?
Oh no, we've had 2 since then.
Okay.
So it's just amazing how he sent volunteers. Our nurse manager, we needed for that grant, we needed a nurse manager. One of my volunteers, Betty, she was a retired RN. She went back to school and renewed her license to be our nurse manager. And I had been an advocate before, and there was a few others that could be advocates. And that's how he started putting everything together.
Every person that was needed for the ministry.
Yes, every person that was needed for the ministry. And then, so at first, he had me as the board president, but then a gentleman that I worked for was a vice president that hired me at an oil and gas company. he came on as the president.
Okay.
Other people that
God needed you somewhere else.
he needed me somewhere else because we had to have 2 people on salary.
Mm-hmm.
So then he said, will you be the executive director? And Betty could be the nurse manager.
And now we have the 2 people on staff to be able to fulfill the grant requirements.
That's right.
Okay.
So we were to fill the grant requirements. So we didn't know how long, we didn't know what we were gonna do, but we were in the original center, which was 2,400 square foot, which was totally built out
Okay.
by UBC volunteers.
And that was the original project that God put in your heart for temporary.
For very temporary, yes. And then, 5 years later, we really outgrew the space, and I think it was one of the storms or something had come, and there was an exercise gym in our current space. They had to shut down.
Oh, wow.
And when I walked, and so the board president they asked me to come down here and check it out, and I didn't want to move at that point, I'll have to tell you, but being obedient, I came down and checked it out. I just loved the space, and I drew up a drawing
Another architecture plan.
on an Excel spreadsheet.
Mm-hmm.
And the guys from UBC came back in and they said they were with us on this. And so they volunteered again and did the build out. And God was so faithful. Everything we needed, He provided.
Mm-hmm. And is this what we're looking at right now?
Yes, this is the space we're looking at right now. And since then, He has provided us 2 more ultrasound machines. See and Believe gave us a grant,
Okay.
and that was our second one. And then last year, about a year and a half, 2 years ago, we had a large donation from one of the local churches, and we bought the latest ultrasound machine. And so that is where we've been all these years, but there's been over 7,000 that have chosen life,
Mm-hmm.
that were either at risk or abortion determined to end their pregnancy.
And so everybody knows that temporary period that God put in your heart. How long has that been?
21 years now.
21 years temporary assignment that God put in your heart.
Yes, yes. And I will tell you, over those 21 years, I said, God, how long?
Mm-hmm.
How long? And He continually, not speaking out loud, but in scripture and messages and His word, He just continuously by His Spirit showed me and told me, I equipped you,
Mm-hmm.
I called you, and when this time to transfer over to someone else, I will equip them, I will call them, and you will know it. And Andrea, you and I both know that moment, unexpected,
Mm-hmm.
that we knew that you were the individual that God had called for me to pass the torch to. So I thank you. I thank you not only that you've received it. I know it's not an easy thing to do. I know you're walking away from a lot of stuff, but God has called you, He has equipped you, and the only thing I can do is say, may He bless you, keep you, and maybe you will work 21 years. I don't know, but I cannot only imagine all the lives that will be saved, both saved through salvation and the love of Jesus Christ, and unborn children being saved, and not only saved, but if their parents are saved and walking with the Lord, they will have a better life ahead of them. So God bless you, and thank you for taking the torch.
Thank you for all the amazing work that you have done. And we're going to do another video to share a little bit more of our story. Thank you.
Thank you. Love you.